Ready?
It's okay, should be good.
Okay. Good evening. I would like to call the meeting to order. It is now 5:31. This is the meeting for the Colton Joint Unified School District Board of Education. Today is Thursday, January 20th, 2022. This is the first meeting of the new year. With our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to ask our superintendent to lead us in the flag salute.
Stand and put your right hand over your heart.
Thank you, Dr. Miranda. I would like to announce that we do have an interpreter, Ms. Velador. She is available for Spanish-speaking persons wanting assistance. If you can come in and give us the information.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Ada Velador, seré la intérprete para esta reunión. Estoy ubicada en la parte de atrás. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much. I would just like to note that all board members are present except for Ms. Berenice Sandoval is absent today. Okay, moving on to the following amendments. Amend closed session item 9.5, personnel public employee, appointment, discipline, and dismissal release. The addition of one certificated coach, head junior varsity track. The addition of 3 classified coaches, head coach for football. Okay, and motion by Board Member Fuentes and Board Member Flores. The board adopted the amended agenda as recommended. Okay, moving on, we do have a presentation this evening from Colton High School, and I would like to invite Principal Murphy to come up and introduce the parents. The students.
Thank you. I would like to proudly invite up here Mercy and Daniela.
Good evening, Board President Araguin, members of the board, Superintendent Miranda, and Executive Board. My name is Daniela Garcia, and I am the current president of Renaissance. We have come here today to present a video where we will share about our past and future events that we will host as a leadership group.
My name is Mercy, and I'm a current ASB representative, and if there's any questions at the end, feel free to ask, and we'll be happy to answer.
We had a band playing, catering of disparate foods for all students. All students danced and had a great time with their friends. Colton High School had its annual Pink-Out football game, which was on October 15th at the Memorial Stadium. We made pink and black long-sleeve shirts for the students in our community to purchase. It was a great time. Seeing all the community in pink was a great way to show our respect towards breast cancer.
We held our homecoming dance October 30th, 2021 from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Our theme was Greek mythology, elegantly and beautifully displayed. Students were provided with food and desserts. Our one and only Mr. Escobar DJ'd for us. We had 2 photo booths, with one being the Live 360 and the other being the regular paper photo printing. We received amazing feedback from staff and students about our setup, decor, and team.
Hello Colton High School board members. I'm Leilani Perez and I'm a part of Colton High School ASB. I will be talking about the homecoming parade. The event was in front of Colton Middle School on October 29th at 5 p.m. It travels southbound on Rancho Avenue to Hub's entrance. Many ASB students, along with community sports, participated with alumni from Colton as well. In the parade, it highlights the theme of the homecoming, which was Greek mythology, along with showcasing the senior court and underclassmen, prince and princesses, as well as city council members and board members who are also a part of this event. All are invited to the celebration of the homecoming event.
Our homecoming halftime show was on October 29th, where underclassmen royalty were presented and our senior homecoming king and queen were announced. Underclassmen royalty, followed by senior homecoming court, began by walking through a tunnel made by cheer, band, and NJROTC, accompanied with family with their arms. The princess and princesses were given gold boxes, and the king and queen opened gold balloons, which sparked sporadic enthusiasm throughout the stadium.
Renaissance continues to work on staff and student birthday cards for January and February. Inside of the cards are candy and a birthday message written by Renaissance. For our staff, they deliver candy and at the end of the semester a lunch invite and a birthday card to celebrate their birthdays.
The Pepper Bow is our school newspaper that helps keep our staff, community, and students involved with what's going on in our school events. The Paper Bow has also won multiple awards, and they have multiple sponsorships that will help them grow in the future.
During freshman follow-up, freshmen are guided and given assistance by both juniors and seniors in Link Group. Freshmen are also taught educational life lessons that can help them throughout their high school years while playing fun and educational activities. Freshman follow-ups are usually done on the first and third Thursday of each month through the students' PE class.
Hi, my name is Malika Castillo, and I'll be telling you about the fall teams that won the Principal's Awards were volleyball and boy cross country. The 1-2 team winners have not yet been established. The Principal's Awards is given to the boys and girls team from each season that have the best combined character and academic achievements. The following players were honored as first team leads for the fall season: Alina Terrero and Marissa Herrera for volleyball, and these girls qualified for the CIS individuals for the sport: Diana Avera for cross country, Sydney Castro and Julia Echeguri for ladies tennis.
On October 28th, we held our Powder Puff football game. The teams consisted of an upperclassman and lowerclassman squad. The game took place at 7 p.m. on our home football field. In the end, the freshman and sophomore squad was to take the win with 8-0.
Our 2 sports have just started. These sports include boys and girls soccer, boys and girls basketball, wrestling, and cheer. The sports will be announced at our next rally, which is January 28th. Girls soccer senior night is coming up along with wrestling senior night. Girls soccer has their senior night on January 18th, followed by wrestling senior night January 19th. Boys soccer and both girls and boys basketball have their senior night on January 27th.
Okay, so for the college career fair, booths were set up here.
during lunchtime on November 16th. At each booth, the college representative provided information on different majors, where the college is located, and they spoke to us about the college requirements. Not only that, but games were set up in order to attract the students to the booths. Overall, it was a very informing and pleasant experience.
Hi, I'm an ASB representative. In October, we had PSAT for freshmen and sophomores to help prepare students for the SAT. Colton High School also did a second session of the NWEA in the beginning of December during second period, and also we will do our final session in March. This test is used to see current progress of the students.
Our school likes to recognize our outstanding students as much as possible. Recently, Renaissance has hosted an award ceremony to do this. We awarded students with honor rolls and the principal honor.
We also like to recognize our top 10 student of the month and people that passed their AP exams in this ceremony.
Hi, my name is Alani Press, and I'll be talking about the 2 holiday spirit weeks we had in the past couple of months. The first one is Veteran Spirit Week. One of the important days was on November the 11th, recognize and repost a veteran, tag at Cjsd_ASB leaders. And the second Spirit Week I'll be talking about is CHS Holiday Spirit Wear. And one of the significant days we had was wear matching clothes with a friend or with a friend group.
Hi board members, my name is Mercy and I'm a member of Colton High School ASB, and these are some of our upcoming events. First, we have senior nights for multiple sports including girls and boys soccer and wrestling. Then we have freshman polo coming up, as well as our third rally of the year, followed by our featured dance. Then we have Chinese New Year, which we will be celebrating with an event that is currently underway. This year is the Year of the Tiger. Then we have the Auditorium ribbon cutting on the 3rd of February. Fair on March 11th, and semester 1 awards the day after on the 12th. Lastly, we have freshman orientation for incoming schools and membership freshman students held this month on the 24th. At this time, if there's any questions, we can answer those now.
Thank you so much. Board member comments.
Mercy
Mr.
and
Fuentes.
Daniela, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. It was great to see all the activities that are going on at Colton High School, from the winter to the parades and homecoming and all that. Exciting to see. May I ask, Mercy, are you a senior?
I'm actually a junior.
Junior and?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior?
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'm excited to see what's going on at Colton High School, and I'm excited to see more that's going to probably happen at Colton High. So congratulations. Please let your leadership know we are proud of them. We are very, very proud of them for everything that you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, and we would like to thank you for all your support and your time today in hearing our accomplishments.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ms. Haro, Board Member Haro.
There it is. Okay, I just want to thank you both for coming this evening and presenting all the wonderful things that are happening at Colton High School. And being in ASB right now is even more important than ever. We really have to keep the spirits up of all the students. And so thank you for everything you're doing. One thing I wanted to mention, since you brought up the Pepper Bout, they're doing some wonderful, wonderful things this year. Mr. Dollins has just taken this class and this group of kids to just winning awards and doing some not only stories about the school, but about our community and everything that's happening. And I want to just let the audience know and my fellow board members know that they are doing a fundraiser. They need to raise $500 to keep their website open, and it is also includes they need miscellaneous equipment for their reporters to do their job. So I asked my fellow board members and staff here, and they will take any amount to help them reach that $500 goal. And I think that these students deserve to have this fundraiser and get the money that they need to keep going. They're doing amazing, amazing stuff. I know all of us read their articles on social media and everything that they're doing, and they're just shining so greatly. And some of these kids, I'm told now, want to have a career in reporting. I mean, they really enjoy the investigative part of the work. So I just wanted to bring that up. But thank you, ladies, for being here this evening.
Thank you, Board Member Haro, and we just please let Mr. Dollins know that we will follow up.
Can we get a list of the miscellaneous items that they're looking for? Can someone send us that list?
Ms. Murphy, can you follow up with that, a list of
Who do
miscellaneous?
we send the money to? Is it the ASB or whoever it is? Okay, thank you.
Other board members? Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. The volume, we could not make it go any higher, and it was just so well put together that our superintendent just informed me that this will be up on our website for the public to view anytime. So we're looking forward to that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a nice night.
Good evening. Okay, moving on to public hearing 3.1, Colton School Employees Association, CSEA, Sunshine Proposal for Colton Joint Unified School District. Whoop. Joanne, do we have any comments for this hearing? No comments? Okay. We are closing the public hearing. Okay, moving on to 3.2, Colton Joint Unified School District, Sunshine for Colton School Employees Association, CSEA. And I will open the public, open for public hearing. And again, Joanne, do we have any public comments regarding this hearing? No comments? Okay. Closing the public hearing. Moving on. 4.1, we have public comments. And just a reminder that I would like to just clarify the process for public comment and ask that the appropriate public comment card be filled out. Each speaker will be invited to the podium, and we ask that you begin by stating your name and reciting your city where you reside. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 15 minutes. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. The president may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. I would like to invite Lisa Villa to the podium.
Hello, my name is Lisa Villa. I'm a parent. Good evening, everyone. The disrespect I feel for my Colton community is hurtful and unreal. I have been crying and complaining for our Yellow Jackets to at least get the basics for almost 2 years now. I have attended every school board meeting. I have given facts and situations. I have had endless meetings online and in person with the leaders of Colton High and our district. I have sent numerous emails. I attended all the school site council meetings. I blackballed myself and have endured sudden harassment, write-ups, being singled out, conference summaries, coaching opportunities, and so forth. I did all this in hopes of making things better for our Colton community. I took one for the team, only to get slapped in the face with the recent decision you made to promote the Colton High leader. If you didn't want to go off my word or any of my facts, then you should have go off documented test scores and grades and official student surveys and so forth. That's what you should have went off of. Not only did you not listen to or care about our input, you decided to possibly disrupt our Colton Yellow Jacket school year by taking out the Colton High principal in the middle of the school year, which could negatively affect the student body. Either the principal was forced out or the principal is leaving by choice, which is worse in my opinion. Either way, it shows a complete lack of respect to the well-being of the success of our Yellow Jackets, including my children and grandchildren. Where is all the support of the administration and the leaders at our children's games? Please don't tell me it's because they are safe at home, trying to remain COVID-free, when it's evident they are not safe at home when they are not at work. If I can work 3 jobs, 2 of them full-time, and still be able to be there for children who are not mine, there's no excuse for anyone else to not be there for our students, especially if you're getting paid over $100,000 a year. If I can show out support, so can anyone else. Can we get people and leaders who can walk the walk and not just talk the talk? Our Yellow Jackets do not even know the alma mater. Where is the tunnel that we have been promised? This is just another example of our Colton community crying and complaining to get the basics that other high schools have. Why don't we? The principal wasn't making sure that we had a proper mascot, a clean, proper, unbroken mascot. It was the Colton High community that took the lead to acquire the new mascot. But you promoted her. The education system is supposed to be about student success. Not holding our leaders accountable is unacceptable because they are your friends, and holding some people and not others accountable. I clearly did not make the friends list because I am working at a site I did not apply at. I pray and hope that our Colton community uses their parental power that they have and vote for change, because enough is enough. Thank you for your time.
Next speaker, Rhonda Fagan. Ms. Fagan, can you please wait until you get to the
I'm at the
podium?
mic. I'm sorry, Ms. Bickering. Thank you, Ms. Villa. I tell you, you wrote it out, and I prayed about should I write it out or not, but I'm going to talk off the cuff again. I apologize to the president and the board, except for Frank, for my comportment last month. You all saw actual anxiety. You saw that I am the result of PTSD, and you saw that I tell you, I have sleepless nights. So I've never been that person. Look what I've become. So I appreciate meeting a parent because I love the kids. I've always loved the kids, and then probably her kids many kids. I forgot to tell you guys last month, I am a resident of Grand Terrace. I am not new at this. I don't care if Frank Miranda has checked my resume. I don't have a lot of confidence in what he does. I think you guys heard me call him a pit viper snake last time. I told myself I wasn't going to call him one this time. I will say this. This is my 20th year in education. I spent a year long-term sub on 3 subjects. 8th grade science, English, and 2 long-term French assignments from Natomas Unified School District, who loves me, you can call them. La Puente High School School District loves me, you can call them. And 2 other districts. I also did provisional credential teaching 1 year in French in Maryland, and I've done 1 year in LA Unified. I've also done 15 day-to-day years in substitute teaching. What I have seen here in Colton Joint Unified, and I hope Ms. Villa contacts me as a parent, is unconscionable. You guys aren't the worst. So I see you guys in here. I feel like I'm on planet Mars. What planet are we on? I'm here to tell you what I've seen, not only as an adult, but as a day-to-day sub under Frank Miranda's reign. I'm on Mars. Where are you guys? I love the fact that young people in the video, let's talk about that, because I want to talk to the principal, who I never met at Colton High School. I have a couple things I'll say to her, and then when my time runs out, I'll be here next month. That principal I saw in a video being pushed in a fight. I had come to Colton High. I think it'd been their 2nd day, and there had been 4 fights 2 days previous. Now, I'm a big black lady. Everybody sees that. But I actually was scared to say, Rhonda Fagan, would you get assaulted at this school based on the agitation of the students? Also, stuff like that, videos of the students. I didn't hear any announcements at Colton High School. But my biggest problem was the safety at Colton High. I'll talk about Bloomington High next month because there's a lot going on at Bloomington High. It's no good, no bueno. At Colton High, I went to a classroom, Dr. Miranda, and there was no phone. Do you guys know how scary it is to be a substitute teacher in a classroom with no phone? I had brought my cell phone, but traditionally we're not allowed in other districts to have our cell phone, but I've always overridden that. Let me see if I can get this in 35 seconds. What happened, because you saw what happened in the shooting in Michigan, and I'm telling you, it's a scary thing not to have a phone in the classroom. There was no phone in the classroom. The kids knew it. It had been a few days. I was horrified. Something happened at Colton High. They called some kind of code, and I was so shocked because I didn't know it was an active shooter. I actually called in on my phone to the main school site, and no one answered it. It went to voicemail, and I panicked. I actually opened the door, which is against Dr. Miranda and all the fire codes, to go next door to ask, what's going on? I got 9 seconds. What's going on? Or we have an active shooter. The teacher came out and said, we're okay, Ms. Fagan. That's my experience at Colton. I never saw this pretty stuff. So I'll be back next month. I'm telling you guys about Bloomington High. Thank you, it's Rhonda Fagan.
This concludes public comment. We are going to move on to 5.0, and I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve actions items 5.1 through 5.34 as presented. Okay. On a motion by Board Member Flores and second by Board Member Fuentes to approve action items 5.1 through 5.4. Roll call vote, please.
I have a question.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just want to comment on item 5.22. I'm really happy to see that we're ordering the rest of the musical instruments that we had promised for our elementary kids. I know this has been going on for quite a while. Since before Dr. Miranda was here. And I would just like to find out if there's a way, since we are helping our elementary kids and they're going to move up into middle school and high school, if there's a way that we can look into. I know Dr. Miranda, you had and I had spoken with our Bloomington High School band director. We had a meeting, a virtual meeting with him, and I'm sure that Colton High School is in the same situation. Their instruments, I can only speak for Bloomington because I've seen them. Students right now during COVID are actually sharing instruments, which is not good. They have gotten like the extra pieces to switch out the piece. I'm not a musician, but the pieces that go on the end, they have gotten those switch out, and they got to switch them out, and kids are having to utilize each other's instruments. There's a lot of instruments there that can be repaired, and I know some of this falls on the school, but they're asking for help. Our schools are asking for help, and they also have a lot of instruments that are beyond repair that are sitting there taking up space. So I just ask if we possibly could look into possibly helping the school, both of the high schools, with getting these repairs that they need or donation, whatever it is we need, if we could at least just look into it. Because it's really, it's heartbreaking anyway, but to see it happening now with COVID and them sharing the instruments and things like that, now it's even, not a good thing for them to be doing that, because even though they're changing out that mouthpiece, they're still, they're kids. And I don't think they're wiping them down and where they hold them and all that, sanitizing them. So it's just, I just wanted to see if we could just look into it. So
Superintendent, can you follow up on that?
Absolutely. I will follow up on it. And Ms. Haro, and I think this will please the board too, that I plan on meeting with the music folks, band directors, elementary music folks, and having meetings pretty soon. We'll let the board know on those dates. So that way I get to hear their specific needs and we can support them. And Dr. Peterson will be part of those meetings too. So looking forward to meeting with all our music folks.
And Dr. Miranda, I was a part of the original meeting with the elementary when the plan was brought forward to our former superintendent. And the plan was originally that at some point we would have 4 elementary band teachers. And so we did get at that time we only had the 2, and we brought it up to 3, but we still haven't brought it up to the 4 that we had was supposed to happen. And the reason for that is because the elementary teachers were also, all of the elementary teachers and are also teaching, and then we have our middle school. Some of the middle school teachers are teaching elementary kids. So the whole thought process was that no middle school teachers would teach elementary students, that they would strictly teach their middle schools, which would open up our arts program, our music program, so that they can also have choir in the middle school, because we have choir at the high school, but there's nothing to teach them to go up into high school choir. So that was the original hope, was that they would no longer teach, the middle school teachers would teach elementary, and they would be able to run a choir program. I know that Terrace Hills Middle School, they've already worked, because they've already some of their schools have been taken away at the elementary level because we hired that third teacher, and they are already doing choir at that level. So I just want to see that we follow through with that, and so that all of the middle schools have their program that they deserve, and then the elementary have theirs. So thank you so much. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that, Ms. Haro.
Board President Ottagate, may I ask a question just along those lines? Because that's a great point, Board Member Haro. I appreciate you mentioning it. And just a thought, in experiencing this, my fifth grader is in band at the elementary level, and he's loving it, but we're learning a lot about the experience now. And with respect to the instruments, and it's interesting, obviously we're purchasing instruments here, and I'm sure we've done that for a number of years, but just trying to think creatively, just as a question, maybe to ask of the band, the leadership in our programs. One of the things that we learned is that obviously, as he's learning new instruments, rather than purchase them, we're renting them from certain shops. And could there be some consideration for working with vendors to do a program where maybe we're not purchasing the instruments, and then once you purchase it, you own it and you're responsible for the maintenance, the longevity of it? I'll give you an example. 10, 15, 20 years ago, we all owned every copy machine in the district. And somewhere along the way, folks figured out that leasing the equipment and going through maintenance agreements where the burden of fixing them and the burden of what to do after them, because once they reach their lifespan, they're no longer an asset. So companies came up with this idea of leasing and making sure that you've got a viable piece of equipment for the length of the lease. Instruments are going to be those things. They're just going to get beat up. I know this, again, right? My son who plays, both we have two kids now in music lessons. These things get beat up. Over time, they're going to depreciate like any piece of equipment. Is there some consideration to looking at a possible model of a contract with somebody who will provide the instruments? They're responsible for fixing them. They would come in and fix them, or we'd send them out to be fixed. And you have this sort of constant stream of viable equipment rather than owning it and then maybe not knowing what to do with it once it breaks or reaches its lifespan, and we have to go out and get it fixed. So just a thought, because we've done this with other assets and other equipment in businesses, as we've seen, for example, with the copy machine. So just food for thought. There are music companies, there have been vendors that are out there that do this. So, and it could be a viable way to support a local business too, who could scale up and provide us with that. I mean, that's what they do. I don't know that we have folks in the district that fix instruments. So, perhaps we can look at something like that. So just food for thought.
Thank you. Thank you, Board Member Flores and Board Member Haro. You brought up some very valid points, and I saw our superintendent taking notes and writing down these ideas. So will you follow up on that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll provide information back to the board as soon as we get it.
Okay. And visual and performing arts and music has always been crucial and very important in the lives of kids, especially right now. So this is a perfect time to make these things happen. So thank you. Okay, so we have a motion from Board Member Flores and Board Member Fuentes to approve actions 5.1 through 5.34. Roll call vote.
Ms. Doreen Ojeda. Mr. Fuentes. Mr. Ibarra.
Yes.
Mrs. Haro.
Yes.
Mr. Flores. Ms. Adigui.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so On motion by Board Member Flores and Board Member Fuentes, the board approved action items 5.1 through 5.34 as presented. Okay, moving on to 6.1. Right. Approved disbursements. Okay, so I would like to just ask if for administrative report 6.1 through 6.4, are there any questions, comments from board members? Okay, so that now we will proceed with 6.5 facilities update. Director Chang.
Good evening, Board President Arguin, Dr. Miranda, board members of the public. Thank you for the opportunity to allow us to provide update on some of the facility projects that we're currently working on. As we are coming close to some of the existing projects, we have some exciting projects that are starting, and I'm happy to provide update to the board tonight. Next slide, please. All right, first up is Colton High School NPR building. It's been long waiting. We have some challenges with COVID and delayed material. Glad to report that we're finally getting to the finish line. Today, we received our final health department approval. So that was a great major milestone achieved. So we're currently coordinating with nutrition services to get their staff to train and with some of the existing kitchen equipment as well as M&O, along with the site staff, get them acclimated to the new building. So we're excited to reach that milestone. These are some of the current photos with the main dining hall on the left side, student restrooms on the right, and it's really a beautiful servery and kitchen area for the staff and students. We're happy to be able to deliver that project to the site. Next project, please. Next slide. Quick update on the Bloomington High School parking expansion project. This one we're nearing completion as well. We're getting close to the finish line. We did get impacted. We were impacted by some of the rain events that occurred during the holiday break. However, we're persevere and we continue to work, pushing forward, and happy to report that we should be completing this project in the next 2 weeks or so. This is a before and after photo. You can see there's a great difference between improvements that made at the site. So we're happy to be able to deliver that to the site as well. Next slide, please. Okay, a couple other project updates. Bloomington High School auditorium rigging, lighting, audiovisual system upgrade. That project's moving along well as well. We finished the demolition phase, and contract's currently installing pathway for electrical and audiovisual system. We're estimating about 10% complete for the overall project. Colton High School auditorium rigging replacement. That one we received DSA approval recently, and we're going to work with site, prepare a document, and identify a timeline that's least intrusive to some of the school activities and events for that to occur, as well as the Bloomington auditorium seating refurbishment. So we recently received approval for that as well, and we're going to work with the site to identify a timeline to get that work underway. Next slide, please. All right, next slide is Colton High School CT Culinary Arts Building, which is repurposing of the existing cafeteria. So the architect's working hard, trying to developing the technical documents. I want to take this opportunity to share with the board some of the design for the project. You can see the white kind of polygon shape. That's the outline of the project. On the left-hand side, the rectangle is the existing dining hall, and the portion to the right is the new addition that we're replacing. Next slide. These are some of the floor plans and the renderings for the space. On the left-hand side, upper third, is the assembly hall area, which it's existing space I mentioned that we're going to renovate. The stage area, kind of far end of the rendering, you can see we're going to be providing some step seating for instructional and also any other multiple activities for staff meeting or other type of activities, really designed to be really flexible for the site. And also the bottom right hand side is the rendering of the classroom at the middle half of the building. Bottom section, we also at the left hand corner, we have designed an outdoor courtyard with a grilling station, again part of the curriculum to support the culinary curriculum as well. And next slide, please. So just some additional renderings of different viewpoint from the classroom looking out towards the kitchen area, and to the right is the rendering of the outdoor courtyard and the grilling area station. And next slide, please. All right, lastly, 2 additional projects. As I mentioned, as we finish out some major projects, we're kicking off some of the 2 board party projects, one of which is Terraceville Middle School Administration Building and Classroom Building Edition. So we started the concept design phase and working with the architect and site leadership on developing some of the, soliciting some of the staff input, make sure we're cognizant in providing the staff opportunity to provide input during the design process. And we're going to be extending that opportunity to the community and even students for the opportunity to provide input during the design process. And we'll also be going to be kicking off the Wilson Elementary Classroom Parking Edition next week. We're going to extend the same outreach effort to the staff and community to solicit their design input during the design process. So this concludes my update. Any questions from the board?
Thank you, Owen. Questions from the board?
I just have a quick question, Owen. For Wilson, where are you looking at putting the parking? Because
yeah, we're looking at some couple of locations. One location we're looking at is adjacent to the admin building. Right now, all the cars are being parked on the street. There's really no drop-off area. So there's some opportunity in the there's some grass area that there's some opportunity that we can add some parking.
So it would kind of be in the front there?
Right, some drop-offs. So
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's close to administration.
I was just wondering because I know when I go over there, like there is parking in the back and then the little one on the side. So that makes sense then. Okay, thank you.
Right, sure.
Board Member Forrest?
Yes. I'll mention this just because Ray would never forgive me if I don't. There are some structures out there, some handball courts and things that before we go moving anything, let's make sure we touch bases with the community before we knock anything down. Even, I know we're at the area you're talking about, it's a huge field, there's a lot of room to play with, but there are some handball courts and things out there that we want to be very mindful of. So it means a lot. That site means a lot to the community. So let's make sure we talk to the community and the parents and obviously the school site before we make any major changes. I know Frank knows what I'm talking about too. So that's a site that you'll get a lot of attention once you start doing work out in South Colton at Wilson. So
thank you. Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Okay. Thank you so much for your report. ACE update. President Karachi.
Wow, that was fast. Good evening, esteemed board members, Superintendent Miranda, cabinet members, and members of the audience. My name is Christina Porachi, and I have the privilege to serve as the president of Association of Colton Educators. Well, welcome back to 2022, which is pretty much 2020 at second power. Looking back at 2020 and even 2021, 2022 for educators has been more challenging. I kind of envy Christina that was complaining in 2020 when I was home working virtual. I want to thank the certificated staff for the outstanding job and dedication they show every day for CJUSD students. Despite the stress, the time constraints, not having a prep time because they are subbing, having extra students in everybody's class almost daily, cancel meetings and canceling intervention and support for the small group to sub in the classroom, our members have graciously rose to the occasion. We are in week 2 of the second semester, and the strain and frustration are visible on everyone's face from classified, certificated, and management. With all this, the staff is working diligently to hide the frustration and stress when they are with the students. They are calm and ready to start every day with a positive attitude. I am proud and honored to be the president of such a tough, hardworking, and cheerful group. You have been there for our students, consistent, calm, caring, and dedicated. Board members, thank you for all your support and for all your willingness to listen and solve problems. Thank you, Cabinet and directors, for going in and subbing, all hands on deck. So board member, if you can make this go away, we will be happy and will love you forever. But since you can't, I will go on to business as usual. Negotiations, you know, I'm here and I talk about that every day, every meeting. We finished the calendar negotiations and we are starting contract negotiations next Thursday. Our goal is to reach a fair agreement by April and have the board approve it in May. Please give clear direction to the district bargaining team so this can be accomplished as soon as possible. So technically we have 2 months and a little bit. Although learning is the most important thing for our students, we ask the administration shows the grace they are requesting it. Some things can simply not be done during this time because of extra students in the classroom, disruption, and what the students need. As much as we'd like to go back to business as usual, we are not there, and some of the requirements might be out of place until things settle down. Thank you for your support and thank you for being here for us.
Thank you, President Barachi. I would like to call CSCA CSCA President Anthony Guadarrama to present the CSCA update.
Still new at this, so. Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. Pretty much what Christina said, I'm just going to second that. I'm just going to copy her speech, so I'm just kidding. Well, let's start by saying these past couple weeks have been interesting to say the least. As we welcome our students back from the winter break, things have been changing daily, and my members have been stepping up to the plate and rising to the occasion. I must say, it hasn't been easy, as I'm finding out quick and hard from my membership, but nevertheless, we are getting the job done. These past couple of weeks, I've met with Dr. Miranda, a few superintendents, and some directors. And I have to say, there's a lot of hard work going on behind the scenes, and I appreciate the transparency and constant communication from everyone. With that being said, I attended the governor's budget workshop yesterday along with a few others in this room, and there's a lot of good news and some potentially bad news. Focusing on the good news, for now, there's no more gloom and doom regarding our financial outlook. Now it's sunshine and rainbows, so that's good. Now that you've approved a second reading of CSCA Sunshine to the district, my hope is to set dates as soon as possible to get negotiations going. That way we can get our members compensated for the hard work and dedication they have shown over the past going on 2 years of this pandemic. I look forward to collaborating with Executive Cabinet and yourselves to continue supporting a learning environment our children deserve. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you so much. MAC update? Oh, okay. ROP? No update. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I just wanted to, it's hard because now we're at the beginning of the year and all this stuff happened last year. But during the break, I know that the students from Bloomington were continuing to practice and have done well and are moving on, continue to move on in the virtual enterprise students. So they're doing a great job. And so I believe they have another competition coming up. And one of the things I just wanted to bring up, I don't know if this would work in Colton, but it's something that CRIBOP is doing. And I know they're a lot smaller, but it was a kind of a good idea, and I don't know how we could expand on it, possibly to make it work for Colton. They're doing what are called they're also in the throes of having Flu Friday and Migraine Monday, and so they are trying to come up with any ideas to have those substitutes available. So they have started a program called Resident Substitutes. And I had them send me the information. And what they have basically, they have resident substitutes who primarily sub at the high schools. They've also done middle schools. But what they do is these students are always available. They always know that these resident substitutes know that they always are going to have a job, whether they're always going to be needed, let's face it, but they're always going to have a job. They just don't know where it would be. And they have to be available on Mondays and Fridays between 6 and 7 a.m. And if there's no last minute absences, which unfortunately we know right now that's not the case, they will they're assigned, if there's last minute absences, they assign these two on-call resident substitutes. If there's no last minute absences, HR assigns the subs to shadow a veteran teacher in the classroom. So they always will be out there. So I think that the program that they're doing, like I said, they're doing it in a smaller ratio, obviously, that, we would do it. But I thought it was just an interesting idea to tackle a problem. And maybe it's something that we could look at doing, and it would keep, obviously we would probably do more than two, like they're doing right now. They're piloting it and they did it with two. But if we did it with more, those people would stay here in Colton because they knew that they would have work every Monday and Friday, regardless. And so like I said, I did get the information. I had them send it to me, and I'll pass it down. It's got a little more information to our superintendent. And I just wanted to share it because I thought, wow, everybody's trying to be creative, and I think this is a really a good idea. And this was thanks to our superintendent there, Tracy, who's doing she had surgery, but even with surgery, she's still doing a phenomenal job. So that's what I wanted to share that from our RP. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Haro. Okay, we're moving on to 7.1, Superintendent's Communique.
Good evening, Board President Araguin, board members, members of the audience, and people out there in virtual world too. Just this evening, I wanted to start off with the first slide, and that would be the Lcap Survey. Annually, the Lcap Survey goes out to our community, all our educational partners. We used to call them stakeholders, but now I think a better term is partners, educational partners. So if you heard that term, you're wondering what is that? It now replaces stakeholders, and we really like that. So in an attempt to really engage our educational partners, our community, our families, our students, and this is part of the larger piece of the LCAP process that Dr. Peterson oversees, and so a survey went out just asking for feedback from our various demographics. As all of you know, we have three general demographics that are Grand Terrace, Colton, and Bloomington. Trying to get feedback from the community, honest feedback, especially which obviously includes our certificated and classified staffs, and parents, and our students. We really encourage our students to provide the feedback because we're here to serve them and find out what their needs are. So in order to increase feedback and to get, again, that honest feedback, we administer this survey, the Lcap, and we work with Hanover Research on this. And so the survey that was conducted back in fall of 2021, just recent, we got the results of that, and those will be posted on the district's website. We want to be transparent with the community, obviously, of the results, because there's a lot of areas that we can improve on. And that's what we're trying to do, is just continue to grow. So just to give an idea of the data and the numbers that we received, we got a little bit over 6,200 response. And so, and really, we've, Dr. Pearson has looked at them, and I think she probably looked at all 6,200 responses. And just we received quite a bit of quality feedback. So just to break down that data a little bit further, that's we had about 4,300 or 4,400 students respond, 865 parents, and 953 staff members. So just want to take this opportunity to thank all our partners, all the folks and students and parents who completed the survey to ensure that we are meeting the needs of the students and the staff. Because at the end of the day, you want a survey, you want feedback because you want to make changes for the better. And so, and it's important to, as Jim Collins says, to face those brutal facts. And then, because our goal is again to go be not just be good, but be great. And ultimately, that's the whole goal. And it is part of the process of the Lcap process that is required. So now, so the next steps in this is the results of the Lcap. Don't just sit there and get put away, but committees are going to break down and unpack the results and try to identify what those mean for us and what we can do to improve our systems, which we're engaged in. And then the committees will be recommending changes to the Lcap. Dr. Pearson is meeting with the Lcap committees. She has also a steering committee. I know our union folks are part of that process. So again, it's this continuous process, and this is part of it. So again, thank you to all the people that responded at the time. I think the feedback is critical. So thank you for that. Okay, next slide, please. So, here's something that we're extremely excited about. It's our 2022 CJUSD Science and Engineering Fair STEM Expo. I will say this, that we were looking forward to doing something in person, but however, as people know, Omicron has made it difficult, and we're experiencing quite a bit of high numbers. So just to be safe and ensure that we keep people safe, we've decided to conduct the annual Science and Engineering Fair virtually. And that's going to be held this Saturday, January 22nd, 8 o'clock. So it's good. The links I believe are posted already, and so we'll if that information, I'm sure it's on our social media posts, feeds, and so forth. So we encourage students and families to participate, and we've notified them, and they can find the schedule information and the links to log on to the sessions and the workshops on the Google Classroom and through their Science Fair coordinator. I got to tell you that, and I know we have our board members here. I know Ms. Haro is very passionate about the science. And as a former science teacher, and a lot of you probably didn't know that, this also is very exciting for me. I love the scientific process and love to see what students are putting together. They do a phenomenal job. So again, we've had to shift to virtual, which again is not the best case, but at the time, instead of canceling or postponing, we felt that since we did last year, this would be okay to do. So I want to thank staff in Dr. Peterson's department for making this shift and change kind of midway here. So again, thank you to all the participants. And this is such a great event. You know, we have great scientists. I know one year Miss Ottigan and Mr. Fuentes, we were at Bloomington High School, and we were just in awe of one of our students who put together a coding. Remember that? Yeah, that was amazing. So we have some great scientists, and so we look forward to the science fair this Saturday, 8 o'clock. And you can get that information on our web and social media feeds. All right. And next slide, please. All right, so we have the board just, if you noticed on the agenda, just approved quite a bit of amount of resolutions. So just to kind of break those down a little bit, and first of all, thank you to the board for approving those resolutions. You know, it's worthy to note that this month is School Board Member Recognition Month. I don't think our board, they did not get elected to get the credit that to any kind of credit or pat on the back. They do it to serve the community, but it's not an easy job. I have the privilege of working with our 7 board members. We're missing one, but it is just I see their hard work and their dedication to the community. They don't do it for any kind of pay. So let me just say that they do it because they just really care about kids. They have kids that come to our district or that have and graduated and want to do great things. And so I just want to just thank our board for the hard work, and this recognition is really well deserved. Not only that, but our counselors are amazing too. Ms. Pracha mentioned our certificate staff. Our counselors, especially the last several years, have dealt with the social emotional piece, and so they're working with our students. I know a lot of our counselors, and I don't know what we would do without counselors. My high school counselor gave me the greatest advice of all time, and he said, "Organization is the key to success, Frank," and I've lived by that all my life. So thank you to my high school counselor for doing that. Anyway, so that's going to be the National School Counseling Week is February 7th through 11th. So please, thank them for the work that they do, because it's pretty amazing. They set our kids up for college, and they just do a lot of work with our kids. And we also have National African American History Month, February 22nd, in February 22, right? This month coming up. We just celebrated MLK on Monday. So we know it's going to be a great month. Our APAC committee is a phenomenal committee that works on events and opportunities for our African American and students and staff. So we look forward to the events. And then last is the board just passed the Career Technical Education Month. Again, one of the vision and focus of our district is no dead ends, which means opportunities for our kids. Even if they don't want to go to college, they can go get a career technical ed job. We have a great relationship with CRIROP, and so you saw the culinary building that our facility is working on. We have some great career pathways. I got a shout out to the engineering pathway at Guarantors High School. I was recently there on Friday. I was there a couple of days, and the coding and what they're doing there, it will just blow you away. So just thank you to all our CT educators. I don't think you get the credit that you deserve either. It's a real job, and it's you're real teachers, and you're preparing our kids for the future. So thank you for that. Last but not least, I got to always end my communicate with CJUSD Cares. And so I want to highlight our winter attendance incentive program in full swing. We know that attendance, there's a lot of issues with our attendance, but that does not stop our Student Services Division or our teams from working on getting kids to school and incentivizing them. And so we have a wonderful incentive program for elementary and middle school students. So who attend daily, they have an opportunity to win a Walmart gift card if they attend school every single day. Now, so these drawings are at each school site, at, again, our elementary and middle school sites. And so this is on its underway under Dr. Ortiz's leadership in student services through January 24th. So the winning students are randomly selected from a pool of eligible students. And so there's going to be a winner at every school. And so first place winners are going to get a $40 gift card. I'm sure that's helpful after the holidays. And the two runner-up winners will get $15 each. So we're Student Services Division, again, are going to have 2 more drawings this year. So again, thank you to Student Services and their leadership to try to get our students to attend, to be at school. And we know that's being at school is so important. So with that, thank you, and I'll turn it back over to you, Board President.
Okay. Thank you, Superintendent. And thank you for highlighting all the programs and the wonderful things that we're doing. So we're going to move on now to 8.0, board member comments. I would like to invite Board Member Thorin Ojeda.
I have just one comment tonight, and that is a shout out to our staff. I know it's been very, very difficult to cover classrooms with so many absences, not only students, but teachers as well. And I know everyone has been pitching in and doing the very best that they possibly can to provide the daily instruction we need for our kids. And I couldn't be prouder of what we're doing. And I thank them from the bottom of my heart, because I know how hard it is to fill on a regular basis. And to do this is just astronomical, in my opinion. And I just want to say thank you to everyone making this happen. District office, site level administration staff, and the cleric, the classified people are pitching in and making this work. So we truly are acting like a great family right now, and I appreciate that. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Board Member Ibarra.
Thank you, Bertha. I'd just like to also mention the same thing that Joanne just said. Starting the year 2022 is going to be another year that's going to challenge us as a district, us as individuals, and our students and staff. And I know that our staff, including our teachers, are really under a lot of pressure at this particular point of the school year. Though we've just come back from a 2-week vacation, 3-week vacation, I know that they need a lot of support. And I just want to reiterate the fact that we as a district, we need to continue to do whatever we can to support our teachers, to help them be able to teach. Because our students at this point, after last year and this year, really need our teachers to be teaching, and to really take a look at what we're asking them to do that's above and beyond. If we don't have to have them do it, we need to support the fact that they need to be teaching our students. And I think that would be a big help to our teaching staff and all our staff. So just wanted to mention that, and once again say that I agree with what Joanne just said as well. And I just want to say that I hope everybody had a wonderful New Year's. Look forward to working with everyone. And hopefully that this half of the school year will be productive, and we'll continue moving forward and progressing in a positive way. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Ibarra. Board Member Flores.
Thank you for that. And Mr. Superintendent, for the record, I ran for school board because I want my kids to leave my house someday, and I figure the best way to help that happen is to have them make sure they have a good education, so they will move up and on. And there's some, we all kind of feel that way, right? That's the goal. Let's get them going. going to be brief. I just want to thank, you're going to hear this multiple times, but thank you to all of the staff and everyone in the district. Right now, we have so many folks that are out, whether it's from exposure, contracting Omicron. It's unbelievable. And it's not only a challenge for those that have to be out, but stuff still has to get done, right? Like payroll has to get done. Benefits have to be processed. Facilities have to be fixed. Classes have to be taught. Life doesn't stop, and so the workload increases for those that are left. So again, we've talked about patience, we've talked about grace, but just to reiterate how it's not lost on us. In my agency, I'm down half my staff. Well, that means the other half of us have to jump in and literally do whatever it takes to get things done, and that's what people are doing across the district. And whether it's visible at a school site or behind the scenes in an office at the district or an offsite, it is critical to making this district work for our employees and for the families that we serve. So it is not lost on us, the work that is being done and what's being asked of our employees. So as we have conversations and look at what the new, I hate to say this, but again, the new normal looks like going forward, we're going to need some flexibility. We're going to need to work with our unions. We're going to need to find ways to help our staff get the job done and not burn themselves out either. Because I have been working on Saturdays and Sundays. I have been processing payroll at my agency because the person who normally does that has been out sick. So it's vital that we find ways to streamline, work together, have patience, and get creative. So but I want to thank everybody for the work that's being done around the district. And also from a parent's perspective, with three elementary students that have gone back just this past week, we've already received 2 calls of potential exposures, right? This is where we're at right now. One was very low, and so he could return to school. The other was a little higher level, and so she is eligible to return to school. And the reason that she's able to, and really our kids are, quite frankly, is because they're vaccinated. That was a choice that we made, and because of the CDC and Department of Public Health's guidances, that time frame needed for isolation or quarantine is reduced, and in some cases they can return within a couple of days as opposed to waiting 10 days or more. So not meant to be a political statement, it's just the facts, it's the reality, and it's the science. CDC just released a report, a study. The vast majority of those that are in the hospital, that are being hospitalized for COVID, are the unvaccinated. Again, this is the science. So from one parent's perspective to those that are out there, something to consider. And ultimately, again, we just have to do our best. We appreciate staff that's been very communicative. The nurses have been great as far as sharing information with us. And if you don't know, call. That's what we've learned. If you're not sure, call. And we've gotten in touch with nurses. They've explained things to us. They've told us what we need to do. And, we look forward to my kindergartner going back to school tomorrow morning with her vaccination card in hand, and she'll miss, 1 day of school. We can live with that. So that's where we are. But thank you, everybody, for the hard work that's taken place. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Board Member Flores. Board Member Fuentes.
Thank you, Board President. I think you've heard it from my colleagues. Also wanted to say thank you. I know it's not easy, but I've seen everybody hands on deck, as they say. Everyone's out there. District office staff, everybody. I mean, if I could, I'd be out there too, as a board member teaching. But I've offered my abilities to at least answer phones if I have to at one of the schools. So they know that I'm there for them too. And if they need me to go and answer phones so somebody else can cover, I have no problem. But I want to thank every single person in our district for doing what they're doing. I think my colleagues have said it. I won't repeat that much. And I hope everyone had a happy new year. I did. Ate a lot of food. And now I'm regretting it. Suits don't fit again. So we'll try to get back into the suits again. So we'll try to do that. So just having a little bit of fun. So thank you again. Thank you again to everyone. And I just wanted to shout out to Mr. Diaz, Gil Diaz, and Alejandra de la Torre. They've been working hard with our dual immersion, and this evening they had a meeting. I don't know, I kind of popped into the meeting here at the diocese, and probably some of you heard when I was in the meeting. So I wanted to give a shout out to them. They're working hard, to the principals who have dual immersion in their schools. My girls went through dual immersion. They both speak Spanish and English. They read it and write it, and it's a program that I recommend to each and every one of the parents out there that are listening. It is a phenomenal program. Don't get frustrated. It starts slow, but eventually your child will come home speaking that second language, and they will impress you. When my daughters really started speaking the second language, Spanish, even though we speak Spanish at home also, I was very impressed. I was very impressed to hear them read. I was very impressed to hear them dialogue with their tios and their tias, their uncles and their aunts that speak only Spanish. So that was exciting to see that. So shout out to Mr. Diaz and Miss Alejandra de la Torre for what they're doing. And to all the parents that have your dual immersion kids, keep doing it, keep doing it. Having a second language a lot of times is what people are looking for, employers are looking for. And I'm excited to have that program here. And hopefully sooner or later we'll have more schools with dual immersion. And eventually our district will be a dual immersion district. Hopefully one day, I might not be here when that happens, but hopefully one day we will have that, not just Spanish, but I'm talking other languages too. So like we have French and German, hopefully we can get those back into our classrooms. Once again, thank you. Happy New Year. Have a great night. God bless you.
Thank you, Board Member Fuentes. Board Member Haro.
Well, I want to say to everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you all have a safe New Year. I just want to reiterate what my colleagues have said. I want to just thank our staff, our teachers, our classified, our management, everybody's pitching in. And I know we've all said it, but you need to hear it again, just how grateful we are for the dedication and everybody doing what they have to do. It does not, we are all so grateful to all of you. I want to also thank our scientists, Danielle Fernandez, Kim Flynn, Andrea Hotever, and Dr. Hyder and Dr. Mooney. I know that last year we knew we were going to do science fair virtual, so it was all planned that way. And then this one was supposed to be live, and then last minute had to change to virtual for the safety of everyone. So I just wanted to thank them for everything they're doing to keep our science fair continuing. My husband and I will be judging. This is our 23rd year judging science fair. So it's always a pleasure to help out, and I just wanted to let them know that there's a lot of kids out there, like Dr. Miranda was saying, and Ms. Aditi, that it's amazing. We have students who talk about the music programs and all these things, but there's so many kids that shine here that, and we want that. We want that diversity in our children. We want them to play that instrument. We want them to have that scientific background. We want them to have all that because you never know where it's going to serve you. So I just wanted to thank the team for putting it on this week. I just wanted to say again, thank you to Dr. Miranda for going to be meeting with the high school music people. And Ms. Peterson, I want to thank you also for working with them. Everyone knows I'm a great supporter of the arts in any form. And then I can't draw, I can't play an instrument. I can't do anything that involves the arts, but I enjoy the arts. I enjoy a Broadway musical. I enjoy music. I enjoy listening to it, going to all our concerts our kids do, because they do what I can't do, and I want them to have that. All our students should have that opportunity. And so I just want to thank you for doing that meeting, to both of you. And my quote this evening is from Von Fleischfresser, and he is a professor of music who has taught at the highest levels all over the world. And if you follow him on Twitter, the things that he says and the things that all of the successes that these students have had. And not all of them, of course, go into a music field, but what it has done for them, for the fields they have gone into, are phenomenal. So my quote this evening is from him. Why do pupils tend to gravitate towards the music department before, during, and after school? It's their physical, mental, and emotional safe space. Music helps them connect with others and express themselves to and with others in such a unique way. Music nurtures health and well-being. In the time that we're going through right now, where we're still wearing masks and we're still dealing with social and emotional problems from students who are dealing with wearing masks and COVID and everything that they're going through, that's what we need, is that health and well-being. So thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Haro. I myself visited a few schools these last couple of days. I wanted to see firsthand exactly what was, what people were going through. And I only got a glimpse, just a small glimpse of what's going on. And Anthony, you're right. There's a lot of behind the scenes that we don't see. And I just want to let you know, and every classified employee, I value what you do every day. And because a lot of times you are behind the scenes. Like I see as I'm driving around town, I see the bus drivers and I see, the delivery trucks and, the different departments all over our district that are, working day in and, day in and day out. So, yes, there's a lot of behind the scenes, I agree, that we don't see. And for that, please thank your members for their work. And also, I want to echo what Christina said. She said she's proud and honored to work with the certificated staff, and as I am. I saw so many wonderful things in my small glimpse of our schools. I wish I could, spend more time. And actually, I reminded where I just, let our superintendent know I still have my administrative credential and I still have my teaching credential. And I told, let me know and I'll show up. If you need me, I'll show up. So, okay. So, with that, I believe we're done. So we are now going to close session. Thank you so much. My phone was there. Okay, we're back from closed session. We have some reports. 10.1 expulsion appeal. No action was taken by the board. 10.2 student discipline. There were 3 student discipline items presented in closed session. Is there a motion to uphold the expulsion orders as presented? Okay,
Second.
Okay, thank you. Moved by Mr. Ibarra and second by Ms. Hart. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay. On motion of board member Ibarra and board member Haro, and carried on a 5-0 vote, the board upheld the expulsion order of 3 student discipline items as presented. 10.3 personnel, public employee, appointment, discipline, dismissal, release. On a motion of board member Flores and second by board member Fuentes, on a 6-0 vote, the board approved the following. Certificated coach, head junior varsity track, classified management, bus operations supervisor, transportation, fiscal service manager, district office, classified coaches, head fresh soft football boys, head varsity track co-ed, head junior varsity softball girls, and a volunteer coach, basketball boys. Okay. And this is our adjournment at 9:18. Good evening, everybody.
You're at 400.